In the early years, he was labeled as a lunatic. He eventually was convicted of instigating an insurrection, but he attacked his prosecutors and gained a national following, emphasizing the ills of society, blaming the deep state government, and calling for making his country great again. In elections, his party gradually gained power, and he eventually became his country's leader. He had a clear platform to target his perceived enemies, rebuild his country, and undermine the existing government structure. He declared a national emergency. He issued executive orders taking over the economy, eliminated his opponents, and forcibly removed the marginalized from society. He outlawed abortion and homosexuality. He gained control of the independent state police forces and nationalized them under his power. The police became his tool of control. Elections were still held, but were now controlled by his government. Minorities lost their rights to citizenship. In the election after his ascension to power, his party won with 98% of the vote. The press was overtaken by propaganda and state-controlled. Lies and disinformation were spread throughout society. He deployed radio, press, and newsreels to stoke fears of a pending communist uprising, then channeled popular anxieties into political measures that eradicated civil liberties and democracy. Some independent newspapers, particularly conservative newspapers and non-political weeklies, accommodated the regime through self-censorship in dealing with approved topics. Journalists or editors who failed to follow party instructions were fired. He took over the courts by systematically eliminating independent judges and lawyers, creating special courts for politically sensitive cases, and establishing a system of ideological coordination to force judges to follow his ideology and principles in their verdicts. It took him just 3 years to assert control over his country. In view of his party's platform to stand for positive Christianity in the early years of his regime, most of the church, including the evangelical church, supported him. It was only later that there was deep regret, but it was too late. Is it becoming again too late? To learn more about politics and the gospel, consider my new book on Amazon, How Politics Has Distorted the Gospel.